The studio lights were bright, the applause warm, and the smiles familiar, but something felt different that morning. Longtime viewers of Live with Kelly and Mark could sense it before a single word was spoken. Mark Consuelos, usually the epitome of confidence and humor, sat with an unexpected heaviness in his posture. Kelly Ripa, ever radiant, carried a quiet gravity behind her smile. And then, in a moment that stunned viewers everywhere, Mark's voice cracked. Tears followed. The reason they shared gently with their audience was a health scare that had shaken them to the core. For a couple who has built a career on openness and authenticity, this wasn't just another segment. It was real life unfolding in real time. A rare and deeply human vulnerability that audiences seldom witness from the stars they've come to know. The weight of vulnerability. Mark Consuelos has spent decades in front of cameras, whether in dramatic roles or lively morning banter. Yet, this kind of vulnerability, the raw honesty that accompanied his moment of emotion, was something new. His words slowed, each sentence weighted with the depth of what he was feeling. He didn't offer specifics that would compromise their privacy, but the rawness in his eyes said enough. When health is uncertain, everything else fades away. Kelly reached for his hand. Instinctively, the gesture was small, almost imperceptible, but it carried the force of years of shared partnership, of joy, of hardship, and of a family built together. In that quiet, shared moment, millions of viewers weren't watching celebrities. They were witnessing two parents, two partners, facing the fear that comes when someone you love is hurting. The reality behind the headlines. Health scares have a way of reminding us how fragile even the most carefully balanced lives can be. Fame doesn't insulate against worry, and success doesn't soften fear. When a loved one's well-being is at stake, every unanswered question becomes louder, every pause heavier. Kelly acknowledged that their family had been navigating an emotionally exhausting period. She spoke with compassion and restraint, carefully choosing her words. The message was simple: gratitude for the medical professionals who had been there and the importance of the support they had received. There was no dramatization, no embellishments, only honesty. Perhaps that's what made the moment so powerful. In an age of filtered realities and curated images, this was raw, unfiltered humanity. A marriage tested, a bond strengthened. Nearly 3 decades of marriage, a rare bond. Kelly. Ripa and Mark Consuelos have been married for nearly 3 decades, a rarity in any world, let alone Hollywood. Over the years, they've joked about marriage, parenting, and the chaos of raising children while juggling careers. But moments like this reveal the deeper layers of that bond, the kind that doesn't just hold up in front of the cameras, but also in the quiet, difficult moments behind them. Mark later admitted that he struggled to hold himself together not because he felt weak, but because the fear was overwhelming. "You want to be strong," he implied, but sometimes strength looks like letting yourself feel. Kelly echoed that sentiment, noting that when one partner falters, the other steps in. Sometimes they traded places minute by minute. That mutual resilience forged over years of shared life was what had carried them through. The power of discretion. One of the most striking aspects of their update was what wasn't said. In a media environment hungry for details, Kelly and Mark chose discretion. They set clear boundaries, acknowledging the struggle while making it clear they wanted to protect their family's privacy. This decision resonated deeply with fans. It was a reminder that even public figures deserve space to process their pain without unnecessary scrutiny. By sharing just enough to be honest but withholding the intimate details, they modeled a powerful form of self-respect. Health scares change everything. Anyone who has faced a family health scare knows the strange shift it creates. Priorities rearrange themselves overnight. Work becomes background noise, and trivial worries lose their grip. Time slows, then rushes, then stops altogether. In those moments of waiting, everything else fades, leaving only what matters most. Kelly hinted at this shift, expressing gratitude for ordinary moments, shared meals, quiet conversations, and laughter that felt especially precious. Mark spoke about perspective, about realizing how quickly life can demand your full attention in unexpected ways. These weren't dramatic declarations, they were soft truths spoken with the clarity that comes only from being shaken to your core. Gratitude for what really matters. Throughout their update, one theme emerged again and again: gratitude. Gratitude for doctors and nurses, gratitude for family, gratitude for colleagues who offered understanding. And most powerfully, gratitude for the viewers who showed kindness and empathy rather than curiosity. Kelly emphasized how much the messages of support meant, not just as fans of the show, but as fellow humans extending compassion. In that exchange, the traditional boundary between celebrity and audience dissolved, replaced by something more genuine. The love and kindness sent by fans became a part of their strength, helping them move forward one day at a time. A moment of real life. As the update came to a close, there were no grand conclusions, no neatly tied endings. Real life doesn't work that way. Kelly and Mark acknowledged that the situation was ongoing, that uncertainty remained, and that they were taking things day by day. Mark took a deep breath, visibly grounding himself, and Kelly squeezed his hand once more. Then, with quiet determination, they returned to the rhythm of the show, not because everything was fine, but because life continues even when it's hard. This moment wasn't just another celebrity headline. It was a reminder of something essential. Vulnerability is not weakness. Love is not performative. And even those who seem to have it all face moments that bring them to their knees. For viewers, this moment lingered long after the broadcast ended, not because of the tears themselves, but because of what they represented. It was the courage to be real, the strength to lean on one another, and the hope that even in fear, connection can bring comfort. Life behind the camera. A slowdown. In the days following the emotional update, sources close to the family revealed that life at home had slowed dramatically. The usual buzz of schedules, meetings, and social obligations faded into the background. What mattered now were the small, grounding rituals: morning check-ins, shared meals when possible, and long conversations late at night when sleep refused to come. Mark, known for his discipline and energy, reportedly struggled with the helplessness that often accompanies health uncertainty. Friends described him as deeply protective, doing everything he could to remain strong for Kelly and their family, even as the emotional toll weighed heavily on him. One close friend reportedly shared, "You can't fix everything, and that's been the hardest part for him." Conversations that change. You health scares have a way of opening conversations that often get postponed in the rush of everyday life. According to those close to the couple, Kelly and Mark found themselves talking about things they hadn't revisited in years. Memories from when their children were young, the risks they took early in their careers, and the moments that defined them as a family. These conversations weren't fueled by panic, but by perspective. There was laughter mixed with tears, silence that spoke volumes, and a renewed appreciation for time, how quickly it passes and how precious it becomes when its fragility is revealed. Mark later hinted that these talks, though born from fear, brought an unexpected closeness. "When everything else falls away, you're left with what truly matters," he said,